what does that mean when someone says to create more opportunities? So for you as a producer, as a writer, as somebody who's already been kind of doing that, what does it mean to you to create more opportunities for them? Like what are some ways that we could be doing that?
We've been talking about that too. Like behind the scenes, I've been like, especially coming from Toronto in Canada, where the CHH space is there, but it's really small. You
Yeah.
don't get as much love as you do in the US, which is like kind of tough. So what we started doing is we're gonna create our own kind of buzz. We're gonna get together. We're gonna start collaborating within each other, and book studio sessions, do our own thing. So shout out to all the artists that I've connected with from Toronto, that are doing this. And then we're like, a big thing is doing shows, because that's like word of mouth. People like actually seeing you perform and on the spot.
Yeah.
Like they're not hiding behind a screen or something, right? That's live. So people organizing more shows, promoting them, and then inviting other artists to like kind of share each other's platform. And that's something I feel like definitely would help in creating more opportunities and putting the younger artists on.
What are some things that you're looking for that you would wish from either a vet or a promoter or something like that?
I would just like the opportunity to be in the room with them, or like be on the call with them.
Hmm.
Like I feel like in CHH we're limited in terms of like to the Instagram DMs, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird. Whereas
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
take a look at the mainstream industry, like if they really rock with the person, they'll be like, "I'm gonna fly you out," or like we'll meet somewhere in the middle, and like we will chop it up, we will link, we'll make music, do whatever. Whereas here it's kind of like, "Yo, here's the Dropbox link, send your verse in." It's like whatever.
Oof.
I rather like be in the same room with them, and like that not only does that give an opportunity for them to actually like see the person, whatever, and meet their heroes or whatever, but it's also a chance for me as a young producer to prove myself. Like, tell them like, this is what I'm about. Like, I'm about my business. I rock with your music, but this is what I can bring. This is what I can bring to the table. This is my value, type of deal, right? And then that way, you're kind of actually building a genuine relationship and not just feeding off of the bigger artist.
He said to be in the room. Like this, like just let me just sit at the table and okay, and like not even really sit at the table. Like you're just saying like, yo, can I just be in there, period? Like, can I, what is the conversations that you guys have, right? what
Yep.
are what are the thought process that you guys have? Because like anybody who's not been in those kind of rooms, right? Not even just the green room, like the actual, like you're brainstorming, you're talking about like emails and stuff. And again,
Yep.
my guy Kamani was talking about for him when he was kind of starting out, he was talking to Steven and saying like, yo, like I understand I gotta like send emails, but like I want to sit with you and see how did you write that email? Like what were you thinking when you
Yeah.
wrote those emails? Like that is something that really could come through more of a discipleship, right? But it is difficult when you don't have it in your area, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think even though like what you were talking about with the Instagram DMs, and you never really know how relationships are going to go, but like if you can get a relationship to get going, even via DM, you can kind of build something to a point where somebody might be able to be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna bring you in on this. I think, and again, back to that video that I was talking about, they were talking about as far as vets are concerned, and this was a conversation that I've had. A good friend of mine who owns a dance studio. She's got just an amazing person in and out. Her name is Tanya, and so my personality, bro, just so you know, is an old school mentality of like, yo, if you want it, come get it. Like you're gonna have to talk to me about it. You know how to reach out to me. You know that I have something to offer, right?
Yep.
She's like, listen, this other generation, they don't feel comfortable doing that. They don't really know how to articulate their thoughts. They don't like, and yeah, and it's kind of true as far as like social media is concerned. Like they're kind of they don't really have a strong identity, so they're worried about rejection,
Yep.
right? Would you say, and maybe it's not the same for you, but would you say that that might be true where there's somebody they might want to reach out, but they're either A, afraid of rejection, or B, like tired of rejection?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like, especially this generation, we are scared of rejection. We're tired, and like, especially like for people who actually try and fail, that's a different thing because they're tired of getting rejected. They've seen what happens, right? And so
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like with this generation, it's like we kind of lost touch in terms of like how to be persistent in a sense of, especially in a entrepreneurship type of field where we kind of keep
Yeah.
because back in the day you're like, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna try it again, I'm gonna try it again, I'm gonna try it again. Whereas now it's like, oh, if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, I next thing type of deal. So I'm like, it's, you should never be afraid of rejection. Like as a producer, I'm sending beat packs like every month, right? So I'm just
He's like,
like
I don't care. You gonna get these
yeah,
emails.
yeah, exactly. Like you just reach out. If they ghost me, they ghost me. If they don't, if they reach out, like, hey man, I didn't like it. I'm like, cool. But that's the thing is, I keep coming back, and that's how a couple of some of my placements have just happened because I come back a year later or come back a couple of months later, and I'm like, better quality, better mixes, better production, sound selection of beats, and they're like, this is fire. Let's make a record together. And that wouldn't have happened if I just gave up and be like, yeah man, you said no, so I'm blocking you. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Woo! Man, he's like, bro, okay, you drive, you coming in, you coming with it. Like, listen, you could be tired of rejection, but if you want it, you better go get it. Like, you better keep going, because you never know, the possibilities. But like, by you saying, the possibilities of the more effort you try, the more emails, the more stuff like that, there might be more rejection. You're not saying that doesn't come with like some questioning, like, right? Like, is
Yeah.
that safe to say that, like, so how do you, for someone like you who has been able to do that, how have you been able to process? Because that takes a mental toll, that takes an emotional toll, right? You start questioning. So how have you processed that when you, as a producer, like, listen, I want to work with people and I'm getting rejected left and right, but I know that I'm definitely not going to get it if I quit,
Yeah.
but I keep going. How did you wrestle through that stuff, bro?
So for me, it was like I always kind of, every time I send beats or whatever, and I get rejected or I get ghosted or whatever. Of course, it hurts, you know. If it doesn't for you, like give me some tips or something. But but like, of course, it hurts because like when you, especially at a young age, when you're so used to like seeing like these big like these young people my age doing big things, making millions of dollars. I'm like, and I can't get one beat through. Like that hurts. It hurts, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like sitting there, like why? What can I? I don't know. For me, I've always had an attitude of what can I do better, what
Mm.
where, and I asked them. I'm like, I I don't care if you say no or whatever. I just want some constructive criticism after. What can I do better? What did you not like? What can I change? And just like that. And it's also being secure in your. And I also feel like feeling secure in your calling. So for me, it was like, I ever since like I started doing music and like I felt God's calling upon me to really do this and really push at it and keep at it. So when rejection
Yeah.
came, I was just like, it's just another opportunity for me to grow because every no just makes that one yes more valuable, right? So it's like,
Woo! Man, you just gonna come with it, bro.
it's crazy. Appreciate it, bro.